Athletes Unlimited, a left-handed compliment is a good thing. These southpaws are living proof. Sam Geyer's back is as crafty as they come for a silly cider. Her powerful deliveries can be downright sinister. And there's nothing goofy about rookie Isabella Peterson, who's racked up big-time goals while sweeping left. Together with their mates, they get right to work with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Bally Sports. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Let the weekend officially begin. It's another sun-kissed day at USA Lacrosse headquarters on Bally Sports. Today, we follow the lead of the captains as the team assembled by Sam Apuzzo squares off with the squad headlined by Britt Reed. It's great to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion of Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. We'll team up with our field reporter, Kylie Oldmiller, in just a moment. Court, off of the results of Thursday for these two squads, how do you expect them to respond today?
You know, I think each of these teams had to do a little bit of a reset. Whether you come out and you have a win right off the bat, it doesn't mean your weekend is going to flow. Plus, both of these teams, a lot of the players are college coaches, so they weren't around yesterday. They were out there recruiting. But what they said was they got together via text and they put a good game plan together.
Of course they did. Allow me to give you a little treetops view of how we do things with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. 56 players in residence. They're all angling to be crowned one individual champion. Each team has 14 players selected week to week by the captain's draft. The scoring very fast-paced, and it recognizes the top four on the leaderboard as captains, who battle over 4 weeks with 12 games per player. Court, we're going to sink our teeth into today's first matchup. Izzy Skane keeps playing like a volcano that's ready to erupt.
Izzy Skane scores in a variety of ways, and that's what makes her so lethal on offense, because she often draws that top defender. She creates some scoring opportunities both with and without the ball. She uses her strength, her quickness when dodging, but she's pretty adept at the cutting game too. She times it just right.
Izzy all the way up to 6th on the leaderboard. On the Team Reed front, Megan Kinna playing very well, and that's very visible.
Megan Kinna has the ability to be a big-time shooter from downtown. Watch out for her to pull up at the two-point line and really put everything she has into it. Legs, torso, arms to generate the torque. She likes to push the transition game as well, so you got to watch out for her speed.
Placing 30th at the moment, field reporter Kylie Oldmiller, she knows how to produce big numbers in AU Pro Lacrosse, and he or she chats it up with Megan Kinna.
Meg, first and foremost, congratulations are in order for making the Team Canada, Team Canada, first ever box team that'll play in Worlds in September. You play all of the disciplines, sixes, box, field, obviously. How does that help you prepare to be here in AU Pro Lacrosse?
Yeah, I think the physicality of box has definitely helped me out a little bit being here. I think the girls are just so physical here, which is definitely a little bit of something to get used to, but I think I've handled it decently well, yeah.
You definitely have. It's been awesome to watch you shoot, cause turnovers, push transition, all of it. If you are a young player out there watching, what is your biggest advice for those two-way midfielders, what to practice?
I would say definitely stay running fast as you can and work as hard as you can. Honestly, just go out in there and have some fun.
I love it. Yeah. Have some fun today.
Okay, thank you.
Megan Kinna, who hails from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, will have fun with her Team Reed in orange. As for Team Apuzzo, there's the captain. Over the course of 4 summers now, Courtney, Sam's been a fixture near the top of the leaderboard, and then as of today, nobody higher.
And the fact that she can go a game without having any goals, but be so impactful at the draw control, tied her career high with 9. She kept winning possession over and over for her team, and that was invaluable. And then a lot of eyes were on her. Even though she wasn't shooting, the fact that she was involved everywhere, it creates opportunities for the rest of those attackers.
All these teams have so many draw specialists, but Apuzzo knows that she's running hot right now. You mentioned those 9 draw controls in each of her last 2 games. She's tied her career high. She's on the verge of 100 goals as she digs in against Ali Mastriani. Erica Leslie, Ronnie Anton, Liz Brush, Lynn Bowers, and Kim Kramer are your officials today. This is game 9 of 24. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by the U.S. Air Force on Bally Sports. And right off the bat, an early card to come, and Sam Apuzzo will exit. This will be player up in the game's first 8 seconds for Team Reed.
You know, I like the officials. She was right there. She saw that check to the head or the ponytail. Nevertheless, it's in and around the head. You don't even actually have to hit the head in order for a yellow card to be given. As Sam takes a seat after just 8 seconds, they're showing this is going to be tight. Anything close will absolutely be called.
You used to tell me it was anywhere close to the halo. You guys all have halos around.
Again,
Moreau on the sneak at the 8-meter key, plays for Peterson. This is going to be a walling call, and we play Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse 10-on-10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end as Peterson strides for an 8-meter free position shot. Steps in and pumped it over top of the goal, guarded today by Katie Glynn. Glynn, a fixture near the top of the leaderboard throughout her 4 summers of AU Pro Lacrosse. An interior pass. Sammy Jo Tracy was relieved of the ball, and back comes Team Apuzzo, shorthanded in the purple and looking to clear with Emily Knowles. Knowles has rocketed her way up the leaderboard. You're going to see the leaderboard top of the screen to the left. The colors next to the individual names reflective of the uniform colors the squads are wearing this weekend.
Emily Knowles, she's so fun to watch defensively when you can disrupt the play by causing turnovers or scooping up a ground ball and getting that possession for your team and getting it out. Last game, she had 3 ground balls, 4 draw controls, a caused turnover. That's just kind of everywhere on the field, and defenders need to get on the board too.
Weeks' snapshot sails wide. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. It's at 15 right now. Geyer's back against Cookie Carr. Geyer's back to the top. Exchanges for Izzy Skane off of another 4-goal performance. Mastriani there with her stride for stride. Shot clock's at 3. Dump it off inside. Ball down, and Amy Moreau with a caused turnover comes up with the ground ball for Team Reed in the orange as they'll transition back to the offensive end. We're 2 minutes old and looking for the first strike today.
You could just hear offense talking about working together. Oftentimes you see a 2-player game. Kylie and Nigel will discuss that quite a few times. It's a little bit more deceptive than just an isolation situation.
Glynn with the stop on Kuykendall. 4 points for every goal he saved today. Lizzie Colson operating for Team Reed, propels it along for Isabella Peterson, and she's been a regular on the goal scoring sheet in this, now her 5th game as a pro. Casey Choma, 26 in the orange, on the exchange for Peterson. Playing that 2-person game near the 8-meter key. Score from beyond it, you get 2 points for the team and 16 for yourself. This one's deflected away. Off the restart, this bounces wide of the cage. Backed up on the end line with 16 seconds to shoot. Sammy Jo Tracy brings it in, works to the interior, looks for a cutter, doesn't find one. 5 seconds to shoot. Sneak attack Peterson off of her cross. This goes back to Team Apuzzo.
I think Team Reed is working together offensively pretty well. It just seems like the ball is not moving as quickly as what it needs to be. If you move it a little bit faster, you're able to find those cutters a little bit sooner. They can take the shots even quicker.
Weaving through the traffic, Grace Griffin spots Ahern back behind the goal. Madison Ahern, one of the 3 players with 4 assists this week. Geyer's back, sent a missile wide. Madison Ahern right there to restart with 25 seconds on the shot clock. Skip it through to Izzy Skane. She took her eyes off that pass. This is an over and back possession here for Team Reed in the orange. Almost halfway through this opening quarter and still no points on the board. For the team that wins each individual quarter in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, there are 20 points available for all 14 players on the roster.
Get it back to Lauren. Clear out. Oh, baby. Oh.
From the top, this is Gilbert off the split dodge, left to right, fires! Rejected there, Katie Glynn deep on the goal line to make another save. As they scramble for it. Gilbert doesn't come up with it. Kuykendall does. A fresh 60-second shot clock as Tracy tiptoes the sideline. Megan Kinna operating outside the 8-meter key. She had a 2-point goal in her last outing. Behind the back flick there for Sammy Jo Tracy. Marked on the perimeter by Katrina Geiger. Neat pass for Choma. One more look inside, that's deflected down to the deck. They still dig for it. Weeks is gonna come up with it, the rookie out of Boston College. And a chance for Team Apuzzo to operate on a fast break. Detweiler running for cover, 4-on-3. Pass for Geiersbach, lets it go, and Reed steps out off the line to take that angle away.
That was an excellent job of Britt Reed coming out high on her arc, taking away that angle, and that's kind of the only thing that you can do as a keeper when a wide open attacker is down on the crease, taking away as much space as possible, all those angles.
Goalies ruling the day so far this afternoon. A 0-0 game. A little bit less than 4 minutes to work in the opening quarter. Peterson flagged down by Gilbert. Mastriani for 2. That scorcher goes wide.
I like that look there by Ali Mastriani. She's shooting a lot of great opportunities so far this season. Some of them have yet to go, so I think she's due for it.
Sammy Jo Tracy. She sure can pepper the gumbo upstairs with a beauty.
Sammy Jo Tracy, always a flair for the dramatics. Remember her college coach at UNC, Jenny Levy, saying, my goodness, I don't think she ever shoots just a regular overhand shot between the legs, behind the back. And this one, a backhanded, that's really all she had. The stick was in her right hand, coming up that left side. She got it between her body, between the defender, as well as her stick. Excellent protection as she was heading to the ground.
Well, we were looking for that first goal. That was a special opener on Bally Sports. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. On a beautiful sunny day in Sparks, Maryland, we're here at USA Lacrosse headquarters enjoying Team Apuzzo against Team Reed. Just a few moments ago, Sammy Jo Tracy put the first point on the board, and the officials wanted to make sure if it wasn't worthy of two.
I like to call this the Kenzie Kent 2-point goal. This was a change made a year ago. If your foot is behind that goal line extended, then that could be deemed a 2-point. But obviously, as we see in the replay, this is what the referees are looking at. Her left foot is planted, and she still has that ball in her stick. But nevertheless, it was a flashy, fun goal.
Kylie O'Miller, our field reporter, chatting with Sammy Jo.
Sammy Jo, talk us through that last play. How did that go in your head?
I think everything was kind of chaos off the line, and then as I was looking to feed, I saw an opening on the roll, and I do what I do best and don't think and shoot.
Keep having fun with it, Sammy Jo.
Thank you.
Thought she was going to say she blacked out. The daughter of Dan and Cheryl, her dad, an All-American lacrosse player at Maryland. Sammy Jo on the board, making this a 1-0 game. 20 points available for the team that wins each individual quarter in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse.
You know, so far, Team Reed has been able to control the tempo with a lot of quality draw controls.
Mastriani sent it high. Team Apuzzo, the favorite today on the betting line. Kuykendall runs into stiff defense from Detweiler. Off the inside roll from her knees. Great pass. Moreau scores! What an effort from Kuykendall to make the play.
Erin Kuykendall, she has such a great stick that oftentimes defenders, they can be staring at it and just want to check it. And we see Detweiler all over her hands, and she actually did go for a check behind Erin's head. As we take one more peek as she hit the ground right here, she brought it back, baiting almost for Detweiler to go for that swing, which she did. That freed up her hands to be able to see Moreau cutting all the way on that far side.
And that backside cut by Moreau, to just have that awareness, recognizing that all of Team Apuzzo's defense, their eyes were on Kuykendall on the floor, expecting one of their teammates to pick up the ball and head the other way. So really nice heads-up play to get open for Kuykendall there.
Amy Moreau was held pointless on Thursday. No goals, no assists, as Colson gets draw control points, 4 there for herself, as Team Reed has had the lion's share of the possession in the first 8 minutes of this game. Moreau looking for another one. 6-on-6 here with Isabella Peterson, who played at James Madison. Peterson off of a hat trick +1 = 4 performance Thursday. Team Reed fell to Team Marino 12-8. Team Apuzzo victorious 10-6 back on Thursday over Team McCool. Moreau, guarded by Knowles, turns the corner, shares the ball with Mastriani. Sidewinder, score! Ali Mastriani.
Team Reed seems to have figured out the defensive scheme for Team Apuzzo. I like how they're moving the ball quickly. They're checking the cage. If something's not there, they're moving it. And as soon as Ali Mastriani catches this ball, she's taking a topside sweeping dodge. But what I like is she doesn't hold on to it for too long. It's a couple of cradles after she sizes up the D, turns the corner, and releases it right away. Sometimes attackers will hold on to it a little too long for a little better angle. She got rid of it quickly.
And she's been adjusting her shot as well. Her last 2 shots, she's went overhand on her release, and they've sailed just high of the crossbar. So for her to adjust there on that last take, to have that low-to-low release, that's a nice in-game adjustment for 21.
3 tallies, Kylie, in 1 minute and 17 seconds for Team Reed, which has won all the draws so far in this opening quarter. We mentioned how hot Sam Apuzzo had been in that discipline. Mastriani giving her some troubles, but here, Knowles wins possession for Team Apuzzo in purple. 20 points available for the squad that wins each individual quarter in AU Pro Lacrosse. 45 for the entire roster, all 14 players who win the game today. 3-0 at the moment for Team Reed in orange. Apuzzo angles in, fires and scores! Sam Apuzzo, the all-time leader in goals, has just crushed number 100.
Team Apuzzo getting the ball into Sam's stick early. They hadn't had the ball offensively for quite some time. As soon as they get it into her stick, you see that she immediately, after exchanging the draw stick, because again, she does it all, too much space is given by Courtney Taylor. Sam Apuzzo coached Courtney at BC. So if there's anybody who knows how to defend one of the best, it should be Courtney, but you gotta get on her early. Too much space, she'll take you to the rack.
And Courtney, you mentioned it. She almost made that look too easy. It's that quick one step, and she immediately brings her arms back off of that hitch to release the shot, catching Britt Reed off guard.
Sam Apuzzo from West Babylon, New York. These AU Pro Lacrosse games presented by the U.S. Air Force being aired in the New York area on MSG Network. Apuzzo strikes to end the 3-goal unanswered run from Team Reed, as Team Reed in orange maintains possession with 80 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Sammy Jo Tracy bandaged up after that spectacular shovel goal started the scoring spree for Team Reed. Mastriani going to slow the tempo with Isabella Peterson.
You know, there's no rush to score right now. They're up 3-1. The 20 points are theirs as long as they don't cough up the ball too early, and especially if they finish on this shot they're about to take.
24-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Glynn made the stop there on Kinna, and she pounces on the loose ball inside the goal circle. 35 seconds now for Team Apuzzo in purple. You got to get across the midline in 20. No worries for Weeks. Play it on to Griffin. Further still for O'Donnell. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Last offensive set, should they choose. Skane fumbled it there. Kristen Carr in a foot race to the sideline. Double teamed. She says it should be Team Reed ball. The officials say otherwise. Geyer's back on the go. That pass finds the open player. Whistling drive. Reed with a fine stop on O'Donnell, and she'll melt it in the crease as the opening quarter comes to its end. Team Reed, backed by its captain in the nets, wins the opening quarter in 20 points for everyone on the roster. We're just getting going. It's game 9 of 24 this summer. As the highlights continue from Kuykendall, we'll carry along with a second from Sparks after this. It's video we've seen 100 times, literally. Sam Apuzzo going to the goal and making no mistake with a lightning-fast shot. Goal number 100's on the board. Apuzzo sidelines with Kylie O'Miller.
Sam, goal number 100 in your AU Pro Lacrosse career. How does it feel?
It's awesome. I mean, to be still playing right now and be able to keep playing the game that I love, surrounded by 100 people that got me there, is amazing. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to be here. What's the message to the team off of Thursday? That was a big win. What's the message today to keep that rolling?
Honestly, just play and come out the same way we did Thursday. We had such a good game. We played with a lot of passion, a lot of teamwork, and we just want to keep that going into this game and this next quarter.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thanks.
And congrats.
Thank you.
The accolades continue for Sam Apuzzo. 10 straight weeks as a captain. 15 times she's been MVP number 1. Apuzzo chatting with the officials field level. It was her strike that followed up 3 unanswered from Team Reed. Team Reed banks the 20 points for winning the opening quarter. With Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse presented by the U.S. Air Force. Today we're on Bally Sports. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor upstairs. You just saw Kylie O'Miller, our field reporter, a former AU Pro Lacrosse standout, and the NCAA's all-time point-scoring leader.
That was one of the most athletic draw controls that I've seen Ali Mastriani take, just reaching up, showing not just she has a great reach with her height, but timing it so well.
Here she sends a shot wide of the goal, backed up by Amy Moreau. In lacrosse, closest to the ball and a missed shot, where and when it leaves the field gets possession. So it stays with the team in orange. Sammy Jo Tracy behind the cage. He has Grace Griffin hung up there for a while. Kenna walks the dog inside. Didn't take the shot. She was held, or there was a whistle. Turning the ball and possession back over to Team Apuzzo.
Megan Kenna, one of those players who's willing to take a risk, and I like it. Other than the traditional split from one side to the other, a face dodge, walking the dog for all the young players watching helps with your ball control skills. Whether you actually throw it into a game or not, it's good to work on.
Fancy, fancy stuff. Skane, more than capable. Izzy, Tuaraton Award winner, flips for Griffin. Griffin scanning the defense for Team Reed. 28 seconds to shoot. On the move, O'Donnell. Sidewinder, she scores. A fantastic release from Katie O'Donnell.
I like how Katie didn't get rattled throughout the entire offensive sequence. Megan Kenna was on her. And by on her, I mean she had contact with her body. She was in her hand, she was reaching. And then all Katie did was just take a slight step away. So she wasn't actually driving towards the goal, which isn't the norm when you're a shooter.
And you mentioned it, Courtney. Megan Kenna had a step behind Katie O'Donnell, but she made up with a good recovery by getting there with her stick, almost across Katie O'Donnell's body there. But it was nice of KO to take that little extra bit of patience, feel that contact from her stick, and then shoot it after that.
From one KO to another KO. Katie O'Donnell, it just seemed like she couldn't miss last week, Kylie. She shot 64%. Scored 7 goals. She dents the twine here to give Team Apuzzo the 1-point advantage, the 1-goal advantage, 1 minute and 28 seconds into the second quarter. Team Marino and Team McCool in the nightcap, the second game of our doubleheader, scheduled for a 5:30 Eastern time start. Temperatures hovering in the mid-80s today. We're about 20 miles north of Baltimore. Barely a cloud in the sky as Moreau works down the wing against Griffin. Megan Kenna spots Mastriani. Folks, you can get closer to the action with your free unlimited club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprolacrosse.com. Team Apuzzo in purple. Veteran Meg Dowdy there, former Defender of the Year nationally during her collegiate time at Maryland. Grace Griffin, 3 times a captain of the Terrapins.
You know, and I don't think that happens very often. Anytime you can be awarded a captainship, I know Izzy Skane, she didn't say being a Tewaaraton winner or winning a national championship. She said it was being named a captain that was one of her greatest achievements.
Beautiful move into the alley for the finish. Cassidy Weeks, the rookie out of Boston College.
What a flip of script in the second quarter. Team Apuzzo has scored back-to-back goals. The offensive team Reed not looking quite as sharp as they were in the first quarter. But Cassidy Weeks, I like that she looked like she was taking it over the top, and it's a quick turn back. And again, we talked about a two-player game. Anytime you can tirelessly work with a teammate adjacent to you and mix up the defense, good things can come.
And that's all Izzy Skane right there in that two-person game. Just basically meaning that two players are working together, trying to jumble up their two defenders. And that's exactly what Izzy Skane did there, just kind of running in between both her defender and Weeks' defender to open up that lane.
Skane, Courtney was talking about her captaincy, twice a captain in Evanston, Illinois with Northwestern. By the way, Skane is moving up the leaderboard in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. She could very well be one of the captains come Monday. Top 4 on the leaderboard will be captains. We'll have a new draft on Monday night. Weeks again! A carbon copy upstairs. 4 unanswered goals for Team Apuzzo.
Straight from the draw control, Team Apuzzo just dominating right now. First, a quick pickup by Lindsay McCone, and then Grace Griffin. She had the vision for her captain. Sam Apuzzo saw the play, was on the opposite side of the field, and we saw the defense of Team Reed hold up. Previously, defenders would have just hopped right in front, an 8-meter free position would have ensued, so that made Megan Kinna second guess before getting in front of Cassidy Weeks for that walling call.
And you mentioned it, Courtney. Megan Kinna on defense was second guessing. This is something that might have gone unnoticed there because of the beautiful feed by Apuzzo and the great finish by Weeks. But Izzy Skane, she completely just streaked down the middle and came around the backside. So Megan Kinna was paying attention to her.
2 tallies, 13 seconds apart. 4 goals back to back to back to back in 4:28. Sammy Jo Tracy looking to calm things down for Team Reed in orange with the 6-on-6 offensive set. We're 3 minutes and change into quarter number 2. Choma played collegiately at Notre Dame. On for Moreau, who worked as an amateur at UMass. Sammy Jo Tracy feeds inside. Isabella Peterson swings and misses on the quick stick. Griffin has the ground ball. She'll run away from Kuykendall there on the ride and settle in for Team Apuzzo in purple. Team Apuzzo has the 3-0 advantage in the second quarter alone. That pass, though, gets away from Ahern. It'll belong to Team Reed. Cookie Carr on the scoop. Kristen is the head coach at Towson. Their women's program not far from where we are in Sparks, Maryland. Choma will advance. So many of these players have bounced back from injury adversities. Court, Choma had a torn ACL her freshman year in high school. You wouldn't know it by the way she bounces around on the field. Gilbert, another player with outstanding speed, gets to the interior and hums one high. Highly skilled Kuykendall to bring it in. Already with the assist of the day from her knees in the opening quarter. She's worked over on the outside by Detweiler. Gilbert closing. Gets to the alley, fires one wide of Katie Glenn. 8 seconds to shoot. Sammy Jo Tracy with 5. Dowdy puts pressure on, takes Sammy Jo to the turf. This is a shot clock violation against Team Reed.
Anytime a defense can come up with a shot clock violation being drawn from the offensive team, everyone gets a +4. And I think that just embodies what AU Lacrosse is about. It's about how you put points on the board as an attacker, but how you make stops on the defensive end too. So everyone has an opportunity to work their way up the leaderboard or down if they're gonna be having mistakes like turnovers.
Another miscue there. Gives the ball back to Kristen Carr, AKA Cookie. We were here at the field early, and so was Kristen. She was all ready to go several hours before the opening draw today. Courtney Taylor picks up Lauren Gilbert. Gilbert's a member of the Player Executive Committee, the PEC. In this league, they empower the athletes as leaders and decision makers. Mastriani gets it right back to Gilbert. Here comes Choma against O'Donnell. O'Donnell made the takeaway check, but there was a foul call.
This is an across the body hold for O'Donnell. We see her get the stick. It's close to the head.
Choma free position, snapped out of the air by Glynn. She airmails the outlet pass, however, and a miscue at midfield gonna result in an offside that'll give the ball to Team Apuzzo with 3:50 remaining in this first half. Stick around, a special feature between quarters 2 and 3 on Britt Reed, the captain of the team in orange. We waited a while for the first goal of this game, then the scoring heated up quickly. First 3 belonging to Team Reed, the last 4 to Team Apuzzo, with a timeout on the field and a chance for us to step away. Everybody will catch their breath. Back for more in this first half in a moment. It's 85 degrees. That fur coat must be ridiculous. 4-3 for Team Apuzzo. The AU Pro Shop is excited to announce that select Nike lacrosse player pennies are available for purchase this season. This limited edition style, designed with the fans in mind, won't last long. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. As we carry right along, tail end of this opening half, Lindsay McCone is listening in with us. Lindsay's the two-time chair of the Player Executive Committee. Lindsay, you've seen this from the very beginning. How far has Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse come in your eyes?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. I mean, I think the level of talent just grows and grows every single year, and as we adjust the scoring and as we adjust the rules sometimes, like, it only gets better. So it's great right now, but I'm excited for the future too.
Lindsay, when you look at AU from when you first came to now, the differences, how much does it mean to have that player involvement, you guys having a voice?
it's everything. I think it's what makes this league so special. Like it starts with the players and then goes to the PEC and up to the league, and to be able to have a direct say in the future of professional women's lacrosse, it's really unique, and it's something that I definitely don't take for granted.
Lindsay, we appreciate the thoughts. We'll be checking in with you from time to time today. Team of Puzo in purple. McCone, she improved some 17 spots on the leaderboard with her performance on Thursday. Bang! O'Donnell shooting up a storm for Team of Puzo.
This all stems the player up opportunity for Team of Puzo due to a green card being offsides. They almost had an interception off of the clear. But the vision, sometimes it's moving the ball around the perimeter, seeing where the defense is sliding, how they're moving, and then just that first cut being the first wide open one.
That ball movement is everything, especially when you're a player up, like you mentioned, Courtney. Moving the ball quickly around the perimeter gets the defense to turn their heads in different directions. So kind of losing a player like Katie O'Donnell when she cuts down the middle like that.
Charlotte North leads all of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse in goals so far this summer. O'Donnell moving up that ladder quickly into double figures. She has 10 in this, the second of 4 weeks of play. She has 2 today. Cassidy Weeks also with 2 in the second quarter alone. It's a comfortable lead in the second frame for Team of Puzo after Team Reed won the first quarter and the 20 points available, 3-1.
Joe, lacrosse is certainly a game of runs. Those first 3 goals, all to Team Reed, and then 5 in a row for a Puzo. So if you're the defensive Team Reed, you just have to make a big stop, and that stop, you want to transition into scoring a goal on offense. That's going to be a confidence builder for the team in orange.
A Puzo off the hitch, kicked out of there by Reed. Those 5 goals of which Courtney speaks in just about 8.5 minutes time. Race to the sideline. The official is going to award the ball to Team Reed in the orange with 2:25 separating us from our halftime festivities. First of 2 games today. Team Marino against Team McCool comes up 5:30 Eastern. Taylor Marino, 2-time defending AU Pro Lacrosse champion. When play began today, it was Sam Puzo on top of the leaderboard. You'll be seeing it throughout the game. Follow your favorite players. Moreau off the 2-person game. Hovering from the alley, she sent it wide. Backed up by Kuykendall with 30 seconds to shoot. Off a screen set by Sammy Jo Tracy. Kuykendall lost her balance, then lost the ball after a sturdy check from Meg Dowdy. Caused turnover points, extremely valuable for the individual defenders. You get 10 when you cause a turnover. Just about 90 seconds to play in the half. O'Donnell against Kinna. Back behind for Madison Ahern. She slams on the brakes. Mastriani's there with her. Nice feed inside. Skane on the putaway. Izzy Skane.
Madison Ahern with her second assist. First to Katie O'Donnell, now to Izzy Skane. Talked in the open about Izzy. All defenders know where she is at all times, because whether the ball is in her stick or not, she is working. And we just see that she gets a step on her defender, Lizzie Colson, number 25 in the orange, staring at the ball for just a second too long. And as soon as that happens, an attacker's absolutely gonna cut on you.
A really nice look there by Ahern, just to be patient when she has the ball on her stick, kind of looking upfield before she slung that ball kind of across the middle of the 8. But a really nice quick stick finish by Izzy, not allowing Britt Reed in goal to get her positioning as she caught the ball.
Kylie and Courtney, as time allows, Skane is so good at making sure that you see her on her moves to the cage. What makes for a good target? Teach the young athletes and young players out there.
You know, I think anytime that you just have the head of your stick open, everybody needs to recognize that you are then open when you are cutting down the field. But it's a change of speed. Just like in a dodge, you want to change your speed, accelerate on that second part. Cutting is the exact same thing. You don't just want to cut. You want to do a preliminary cut, take your defender maybe in opposite direction than where you're really wanting to go.
Kinna Force feeding Kuykendall. Moreau to the interior turn, fire. Choma didn't hit pay dirt there. Kicked out by Katie Glynn. 4 more points for every goalie save. Final 30 seconds of the second quarter. It's Team Apuzo heavily in front in terms of the quarter win points, thanks to the 5 goals that they've put on the board in the second alone. 6 unanswered. Ahern racing towards the cage. Griffin, one more pass, and then Reed slams a door on Weeks, who was looking for the hat trick. Final 5 seconds of the second quarter. A pop fly to midfield. Weeks comes up with it, and the horn will sound, ending the opening 20 minutes. Team Apuzo easily claims the second quarter.
A 5-0 run, a big adjustment, a large part due to being able to win the draw and just be patient on offense, as well as making sure that all of their shots were quality.
Catching their breath now between quarters 2 and 3. Ali Mastriani huffing and puffing. Mastriani, one of the goal scorers for Team Reed in what was a productive first quarter for them. Anything but in the second, as Team Apuzo goes nuts for 5, and we are 6-3 at the break. Kylie Ohlmiller has Cassidy Weeks nearby.
Cassidy, you're having a great game. What's it like to not only have played for Sam Apuzo at BC, but now here as your captain?
It's so awesome. She's a great coach, a great player, and I'm just so excited that she got to choose me and we get to play together right now.
What's been the biggest difference coming from college into the Pro League?
A lot more physicality here, getting hit everywhere, but it's really fun to get to play with all these new players and just learn from everyone.
Go get a quick breather. You've had a great half, so good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Yep.
Cassidy Weeks, always very intense. She and her mates, a solid opening 20. As the fans look on, rooting for Katie Glynn, Team Apuzo has the advantage. Stick around. A special look at Team Reed captain Britt Reed after this. Time flies in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. We've burned through 20 minutes of play at USA Lacrosse HQ. Team Apuzo and Team Reed resting up for quarter number 3 on Valley Sports. Over the course of 4 summers now, Britt Reed has been a fixture on the leaderboard. That means she's often captain material and knows the role.
The role of a captain is definitely one of the harder things to do at AU, but it's definitely very rewarding in itself. You get to lead a team, but also give leadership to other people on the team to make a team that meshes really well so you can play well together.
We're going to start with the energy. We're going to start hard and aggressive from the beginning. Let's go. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3.
What makes a good team is being a team, like being united, having fun, celebrating each other, and truly enjoying everyone's success.
Reed's a record holder in AU when it comes to making stops. As you can tell on the screen, with almost 4,700 career leaderboard points, she's one of the all-time best in AU Pro Lacrosse. Please do stay there with us. There's more to come at the half. When you return, we'll bring you into the game with players mic'd up on the field. It has been a seesaw game today with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse presented by U.S. Air Force. Team Reed had the first 3 markers. Team Apuzzo with the last 6 goals on the board. As a result, a 6-3 lead after 20. Folks, the sounds from down on the field, they can be very colorful. These athletes don't mind letting you eavesdrop on them. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force and Isabella Peterson.
Oh, I almost took that camera out. Okay, I'm ready. There they go. Oh, my goodness, that was really unathletic. That was a good possession, though.
Yeah.
Ashay! Yeah! Yeah! Let's just get this ball and then work the entire clock like last shot.
Yeah, let's work. I like that.
You. Oh, no, possession, protect. 15, hold them! Yes! Great stop, guys. That was so good. Good job.
Plenty of communication, plenty of direction, plenty of excitement from Isabella Peterson, and yet her team is trailing by 3 after 20 minutes. Stay right there with us. Courtney and I have highlights for you on the other side of the break. USA Lacrosse headquarters, basking in the sunshine today here in Sparks, Maryland. Team Apuzzo a 6-3 lead after 2 quarters of play on Bally Sports. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland, so I'm in really good company. Miss Courtney, we're talking about shooting first. It was a game in which the teams went back and forth on hot streaks.
That's right. First you had Team Reed coming out hot. They were firing on all cylinders. It seemed like they couldn't do any wrong, and that started with the draw control. And then the script flipped. You had Sam Apuzzo and her circle play. They stepped things up. They started to win possession, and then they started to shoot well. They didn't take more shots than Team Reed, but it was the shots that they were taking, and they were finishing them. Quality shots. So aim small, miss small. Not always about how much you can shoot.
So many times in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, we talk about the turnover story. What were you able to glean from the first 20 minutes?
You know, it seemed like it was back and forth. Both teams you're settling in quite a few turnovers in that first quarter. And then once that second quarter hit, there were 6 turnovers for Team Reed compared to 0 for Team Apuzzo. So they just tightened things up a bit, whereas when you tighten it up, then you have the ball more.
Team Apuzzo entering play today as the favorites, but it was Team Reed jumping right onto the scoreboard, right out of the chute.
You know, straight from that very first draw control, and then the next 4, they were possessing the ball well. And when you possess the ball, you're feeling confident. All 3 of their goals were off of different looks. There was a lot of work to do at the draw, but they translated it offensively. So that's when things are going your way. But then all of a sudden things changed.
They did, and Team Apuzzo, following the lead of its captain, there's a major milestone goal. That was 100.
Katie O'Donnell, I like her on the field because she just puts herself in the right spot at the right time. Cassidy Weeks, she is just a rookie, but she is feeling confident now herself, whether it's in transition or whether it's her with those wind-up shots from the outside. And you can never take your eyes off of Izzy Skane. As she proved, she's just as lethal without the ball as she is with, because she cuts and times her cuts well.
So, the numbers that matter most favor Team Apuzzo by a 6-3 count. Team Reed won the first quarter win points, Team Apuzzo the second. The rest of the stats break down like this.
You know, I had mentioned Team Apuzzo, they are not out shooting Team Reed, but Team Reed, a lot of their shots are going wide or over. So they just have to hone in on really sighting the cage, getting a quality shot on goal, because you look at the saves, that's fairly even. The draws even at this point are fairly even. Obviously, Team Reed with slightly more turnovers than Team Apuzzo. So a few small things to fix, and then this is a game again.
These two squads, of course, they'll make their second half adjustments. 20 minutes to go. In Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, there are 4 10-minute quarters. The teams have rosters of 14 per side. We play the game 10 on 10. It's 80 yards from goal line to goal line. There's an 8-meter key, and the athletes are getting more and more familiar with how to produce those 2-point goals for the team and 16 points for themselves on the individual leaderboard. As we continue to make our way towards the third quarter between Team Reed and Team Apuzzo. Team Apuzzo gets Team Marino tomorrow. Again, those two storied captains will clash on Sunday. Team Reed matches up with Team McCool. Marino and McCool coming up in the second game of the doubleheader this afternoon, a 5:30 Eastern Time start on Bally Sports. As usual, the spectators making sure that they are here in person. Court, we've documented how AU Pro Lacrosse differs from the collegiate game. When you think about the 60-second shot clock and all the offensive-minded players that we have, you would assume that something like that would be in their favor. In their minds, they have to like that.
Yeah, it just makes the game faster. It's faster, which is more exciting for the fans. You have to be in great shape. There's only 4 midfielders on the field, so oftentimes teams electing to put an attacker and defender in that other split mid position. But 2-point goals, it's a very offensive-minded game. A 10v10 creates that situation where they have more space to work with.
Our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, is a great goal scorer. Now she's going to visit with a great goalkeeper.
Seeing the ball really well, defense in front of you is playing really strong. What were some of the halftime adjustments you guys are looking to put into the second half?
You know, I think we came out really hot in the second quarter. We just want to continue to do that and play another awesome half of lacrosse.
I can't help but notice you got mom, dad in the stands. They're always behind me.
Yeah.
She's yelling right now your name. What is it like to have that support?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. You know, I can always look in the stands and see them, and they just give my endless support, and it's amazing.
I always love hearing them in the stands. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Dad and mom, Ted and Debbie. Debbie's voice you can hear. It carries, Court, and it has for all 4 summers of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Katie was a third-place medalist last summer. Top 4 on the leaderboard at the end of game 24 will be receiving medals here in Sparks.
I love the fact that Katie's dad was one of her first coaches, and she still works with him, practices, and just gets some shots before every single game, even here in Pro Lacrosse. And it's not ever at the field, but it's kind of right around the corner. They all have their own superstitions that they stick with.
That's Courtney Martinez-Connor. I'm Joe Beninati. There on screen is Katie's dad, Ted. Team Reed in the orange, scoreless in the last 12 minutes against Katie Glynn. That has to make mom and pop quite happy. 6-3 for the team in purple. Backstop by Glynn as we get going in quarter number 3.
Now, Ali Mastriani won that draw control nice and clean, and some may wonder why she was kind of sticking around and not really using her speed, getting far away from it. She got it out of her stick quickly, but it's because she needs to then switch that draw stick. So she wasn't quite sure whether to go over that line or whether her teammate was going to need her help again.
From the outside, it's Kuykendall. Courtney, you and Kyler were explaining to me why those players are loath to go to the goal with their draw sticks. It has to do with the stringing.
That's right, a different type of stringing. and you just pass a little bit differently, and it's tough.
That pass looking for Mastriani goes awry. It comes up for Weeks. Cassidy Weeks, who had a couple of goals in the second quarter. Officials stopping play, our officiating group, Erica Leslie, Ronnie Anton, Liz Brush, Lynn Bowers, and Kim Kramer today. Grace Griffin glides ahead. 6-on-6 here at the offensive end. O'Donnell also had a couple of goals in a boisterous second quarter for Team Apuzzo. They outscored Team Glenn 5-0. Geyer's back. Long-time chum of her captain, Sam Apuzzo. They grew up on the same street. O'Donnell finds Skane rumbling to the top of the 8-meter key. Lizzie Colson there to defend. Here comes a double team. Skane ran right over Kristen Carr as Reed pounces on this loose ball.
So that's already an adjustment that I'm seeing on the defensive end. Team Reed, they were sending a quick backside double. So as soon as Izzy was turning, she was turning right into that double team. Maybe the referees could have potentially called a charge after Cookie's feet were set on the defensive end. They didn't, but I like that different look. You want to try and get those top players and get the ball out of their stick as quickly as possible, like sending a double.
You always mention displacement. Behind the back, score! Kuykendall does it again.
Okay, Erin Kuykendall has 2 goals in AU Pro Lacrosse, her rookie season. Both of them are behind the back goals. So we see if she is looking to take her defensive player maybe topside. She gets a step on her defender, and here's the thing, last time she had to take the behind the back shot because they were overplaying her strong side. This time they weren't necessarily overplaying, but she saw the lane was there. And again, there was a lot of traffic in front of her, so she couldn't take your normal shot. The only one behind the back.
Erin Kuykendall and I were talking at halftime about how these next level defenders can really get in your hands as an attacker. And with Erin Kuykendall's incredible stick work, it's something that they have to do on the defensive end in order to try to stop her. So you saw a little bit of lunging with the stick towards her hands, which just allows that behind the back opportunity to open up for her.
Ending a drought of nearly 14.5 minutes for Team Reed, and Kuykendall doing so in acrobatic fashion. Earlier today, you saw her pick up a helper from her knees. And then, just seconds ago, with a brilliant behind-the-back strike, Kuykendall and her mates draw within 2. Team Apuzzo in the purple. It's O'Donnell jogging in, lost it out of her cross, gave it up there to Megan Kinna. As she'll advance for Lizzie Colson, tracked down by Griffin. Moreau in the vicinity, spins out of there with a ground ball, and possession for Team Reed.
I like that they can see where their teammates are at on the field. Sometimes they're trying to bat or goose the ball to a teammate in one spot or another, but I'd like to see them just pick it up, do the sure thing. If you can hit it to somebody else, most definitely you can do it yourself.
Beautiful inside roll. Mastriani snuffed out by Glenn from point-blank range. Every goalie save worth 4 points to the netminders. Kuykendall there with a rip-off. She stole that and gets a fresh 60-second shot clock for the team in orange.
That's almost as good as a goal. It's 10 points for a caused turnover. This time an attacker getting one.
Peterson hovering at the 8-meter key. Kuykendall thinking about it again. This time a more traditional bouncer that's stopped by Glenn. 4 minutes into the third quarter. Strolling back through midfield. Griffin finds Dowdy. A successful clear for Team Apuzzo. Kuykendall, the lone goal in this third quarter. There are 20 points available for all 14 players on the roster when you win an individual quarter. Griffin, little cat and mouse on the outside with O'Donnell. Weeks wants it, shapes up against Choma, runs by her, fires one wide of Reed on the end line, closest to the ball wearing when it leaves the field. Sam Apuzzo gets it back for her squad. A mad dash! She scores! Sam Apuzzo.
I like Sam bringing this ball in from out of bounds. Courtney Taylor's been keeping a close eye on her, not giving her much space throughout their offensive sets. But as soon as the ball goes out of bounds, it's the closest person to when and where it goes out, so that's Sam Apuzzo, and immediately she reattacks.
And you mentioned it too. Something that Sam Apuzzo does so well when she's getting locked off so closely by one of the defenders is she picks up that ball immediately off the end line and goes right to goal. It's a great way to get the ball.
Sam Apuzzo points in all 44 of her games in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. She did not have a shot on goal, did not have a goal in the opener back on Thursday, has a couple today, and advances her team's lead to 3 points with just about 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Specialist inside the draw circle, draw control for Izzy Skane. Skane advances this one. That's a bit tall there, looking for Apuzzo. It's down on the ground. It belongs to Courtney Taylor as she'll hand off to her captain, Britt Reed. 20 seconds to clear the midline for Team Reed in orange. Leaderboard shows Sam Apuzzo lengthening her lead over rookie Emily Knowles, who's one of her defenders. Knowles along for the ride, Court. Whenever you win, you do well in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse.
That's right, those 20 points from quarter to quarter can add up, as well as those overall 45 points for the win. What's amazing is you can lose the game, but potentially have 3 different quarter point wins for 60 points, and that adds up.
The colors next to the names as Kinna fires downtown, she scores! Kinna, a 2-point blast. Those colors next to the names reflective of the jersey colors you're wearing this weekend.
All right, I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I did say in the open that she has the ability to be a big-time shooter from downtown, and watch out for her to pull up at that 2-point line. And Kinna, you saw her hold her stick up high. She was ready and waiting for that ball and reached shooting around her defensive player, getting her arms, her stick far away from her body.
The celebration on field sends us to a TV timeout. Flash that 2-point sign. Kinna with another long-range tally. Wind kicking up here at USA Lacrosse HQ. It's been headquarters here since 2016. As you see, the score divided up into thirds. Team Reed won the first. Team Apuzzo took the second. And in the third quarter, after that 2-point strike from Kinna, she and Kuykendall have Team Reed up 3-1, still with 4.5 left to play in the third frame alone. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor. Kylie Oldmiller is our field reporter. Kylie, a 3-year veteran of AU Pro Lacrosse, not playing this summer due to injury, as we tip our cap to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts. Doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday. We've got 2 for you tomorrow. You see the third quarter shot story heavily in favor of the team dressed in orange, Team Britt Reed. Taylor finessed her way to the midline and does clear for Isabella Peterson. Spinning on Griffin. Worms her way just outside that 8-meter key. Score from beyond it, as Kinna did a few moments ago. It's 2 for the team and 16 for yourself. Mastriani angles, pops it inside for Sammy Jo Tracy, guarded by Dowdy. At the end line, it's possession for Team Apuzzo in orange. 3.5 to go in the third. Weeks will advance. Scouting report on Cassidy mentioning her desire to win each and every game. So inspirational throughout her time at Chestnut Hill and now as a pro. Chestnut Hill with the BC Eagles. Defending national champs. Geyer's back on the move, just missed. Dunking that one to the post. The backup for Izzy Skane halfway through the shot clock. Skane off the split, comes back to her strong hand. O'Donnell between two, fanned on that one. It was checked out of her cross. Ball down. Apuzzo's mad dash again to the goal. Draws a whistle. Sam Apuzzo, the first Athletes Unlimited athlete of any kind to win 3 career medals.
Captain Britt Reed trying to say that Lizzie Colson was out of that scoring play.
The free position shot sailed high by Apuzzo. Geyer's back, checking over her shoulder. Not a lot of time to shoot. This is turned over to Reed. She comes storming from her goal circle. And the officials hearing the timeout called for by facilitator Catherine Conway. There are no coaches in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. The facilitators work with the captains on challenges. They're very vocal with regard to timeouts, and they're very helpful on draft day Monday nights.
I could hear that timeout from up here. Your captain is running out of the goal with possession of the ball. Your team in this third quarter is up by a score of 3-1. That's the perfect time.
Folks from the promo department experience AU Pro Lacrosse in person right here in Sparks, Maryland. Tomorrow, hashtag That's Love Impact Day, featuring a water bottle giveaway for the first 250 fans. Go to auprolacrosse.com and buy your tickets today. We'll see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow, the team in purple, Team Apuzzo, will square off with Team Marino in the first of the double dip. Team Reed gets Team McCool to close it out in week 2 of 4. When it's all said and done, 24 games in the books, 12 for every player. The top 4 on the leaderboard will be medalists. There's 1 individual champ. There's an all-defensive team. There's a defensive player of the year. There's a teammate of the year also doled out on that season-ending day before the fans here in Sparks, Maryland. 7-6 now, late in the third quarter of this game. Here's what's still left on the schedule for this weekend. Back with you on Valley Sports at 5:30 Eastern Time today.
My favorite game of the week is anytime I get to see Team Apuzzo versus Team Marino. That just seems like a staple from season 2, 3, and now that we're into 4, it just doesn't disappoint.
Well, you do see it a lot, right? It's Apuzzo 10 straight weeks as a captain, Marino 9 straight weeks as a captain, And it's the goalie who has the upper hand, though, with the two back-to-back individual Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse titles. Weeks is a long way from the goal. Moreau picks her up. Weeks working goal line extended. Now back behind. O'Donnell nearing the net. Mastriani, the defender. That's deflected in part by Carr. Taylor comes up with it, lost it inside the key. And we hear a whistle. It's going to be Team Apuzzo ball. Final 100 seconds in this third quarter. 3-1 advantage in the quest for those 20 quarter win points in favor of Team Reed in orange right now. Weeks fidgets inside, draws two. Nice look here, whistling drive. Izzy Skeen, she scores.
Off ball, we see Sam Apuzzo just working the crease, keeping her defensive player Lizzie Colson busy, and the two-player game. Cassidy Weeks, Izzy Skane, both defenders went to the ball handler. And when that happens, it leaves somebody wide open, and that person being Izzy Skane, oof, that's tough.
I think after that initial call where there was a ground ball scrum in the middle, Team Reed was just a little unorganized to get back on their players, and Team Apuzzo did a nice job to take advantage of it.
Skane continues to score big numbers in this her rookie season as a pro. Shouldn't surprise anybody. She only had 88 goals in college this past spring. Lindsay McCone digging into the draw. Lindsay's been wearing a microphone for us. We've been eavesdropping from time to time. Beautiful draw control there for Mastriani, and right towards the cooker she comes.
Oof. Sometimes you still just want to see a player go to goal, even with that draw stick. I know it comes out differently, that you just have to aim to a different spot, which seems crazy. And a funny story, my daughter the other day, I watched her with the draw stick and she was headed to goal. I'm thinking, what is she saying? She's just kept repeating in her head, okay, aim high, it'll go low. Aim high, it's gonna go low, and it did. It was a low shot, but that's how different that ball is gonna come out of that stick.
About a 17-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Kuykendall feeds. Mastriani with a worm burner that was eaten up by Glenn. 35 seconds left. Team Apuzzo has a chance to even the score in the third quarter until they cough it up. It is Kinna with the ball, and it's Kinna's two-point marker that gives Team Reed the advantage in the quarter points. 3-2 for the moment. 15 seconds to go. Mastriani working a two-player game with Peterson. Kinna for two again, answered by Glenn. Katie hoists it 50 yards on the button there, but at the line, Apuzzo and friends see and hear the horn. It's 8-6. Team Apuzzo after three quarters. The third quarter won by Team Reed. Folks, stay right there with us. We talk a lot about the offensive scheme of playing the two-person, two-player game. Courtney Martinez-Connor and Kylie Ohlmiller will explain when we return. It's unusual. Team Reed has won 2 quarters, and yet they trailed the game 8-6. That 5-0 Team Apuzzo blowout second quarter, providing the difference.
Hey guys, Kylie and Court here. We're gonna walk through a couple of those 2-player scenarios we keep referencing during the games on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of the times you'll see this on either the left side with the lefties working together or the right side with the righties working together, setting picks and just setting each other up for success.
You know, on that left side, think of Maggie Hall, Erica Evans. They did a great job in week 1. Or on the right side, Charlotte North, Izzy Skane, Erin Kuykendall.
Usually using these sometimes too to switch up their matchups on the defensive side. So as we set this up here, a lot of times we'll see the ball start up top with a player like Court up there who's going to pass it down low. She's going to pick down, meaning she's going to bring her defender, set a pick there. It's my job to engage my defender and then try to run her right off of Court's pick here. I want to try to get as close as I possibly can so that as I run off, Court rolls. She's looking for a pass from me because either the defenders are both going to come to me. If they do, that's where we're seeing success in this 2-man game so far. Or if they do not, I have a step on my defender and I can take this shot as we go.
The biggest part is trying to make the defense miscommunicate. Are they going to try and fight through the pick? Are they miscommunicating? They both want to switch while one is staying on. So look for those attackers to work tirelessly. It's not just a one-and-done scenario.
Courtney and Kylie, here's how it looks in the live game.
No surprise, Izzy Skane. She was working with Cassidy Weeks. We saw she was the one who set the pick. Both players going to Cassidy, ultimately drawing that double from the pick game, and Skane was able to shoot wide open.
And a lot of times a player like Izzy Skane or Charlotte North, they'll get those top defenders on the other team as their matchup. So sometimes they're not necessarily only using that 2-player game to get themselves open for a shot, but maybe just to get the defenders to switch their matchups and then take that one-on-one with a different matchup.
The plays definitely developed quickly, and that was a chance for our 2 analysts to hit the field and explain how offense is contributed at this level. If you're just tuning in with us, Team Apuzzo in purple has an 8-6 advantage, just getting going in the 4th quarter. 14 players aside in Athletes Unlimited. On Monday, a new draft. Top 4 on the leaderboard will be new captains. They'll select their sides Monday. You can see that 7 Eastern on YouTube. Kylie Ohlmiller and Maria Trivalpiece conducting matters. Interior look for Kinna. She scores.
So we just talked about the 2-person game, and Team Reed said, all right, I'm going to show you a different variation of this. Peterson and Kinna working together. As we see the 2-player game happen, the pick, and it was that opening up of Kinna. The opportunity for her to see the ball happens based upon how she turns. If she turned the other way, she would not be ready for this pass. So opening up to the ball, so very important.
And the piece of that as well, she waits for a second. She sets that pick, and as the 2 defenders kind of run through and step up to Isabella Peterson, Kinna is able to open up, see the ball like you mentioned, Court, and then be able to recognize that there's no slide to her. She could take her time on the crease with the finish.
Every assist in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse earns 6 points. Isabella Peterson inside the draw circle just picked up that helper too. Megan Kinna's already got a couple of hat tricks in this her rookie season. She's got 2 goals today. She's on the verge of another, and she brings Team Reed within 1 point. Geyer's back, swivels away from the pressure of Kristen Carr. Still plenty of time to go in regulation in what is a 1-point game. Team Apuzzo came in as the favorites. Over-under line was at 18.5. Closing in on that now with plenty of time in the 4th. Apuzzo with the 2 tallies today. Enters against Mastriani. Geyer's back, will flip to her chum. Apuzzo waiting for a play to develop. It's Skane on the pop out with Colson there. Lizzie continues to hound Izzy Skane all the way back behind the net. Apuzzo circling the goal. Geyer's back, sets her feet, pumped it wide. 9 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. Whistles blare out. The officials are going to get things coordinated again. As the shot clock continued to run, it's a violation against Team Apuzo.
10 points is going to be picked up. Potentially it would have for Courtney Taylor, but now instead of that 10 to her, I think it's going to be 4 points to the entire team for that shot clock violation.
Hustling at the midfield line, Peterson comes down with the ball for Team Reed in the orange. Kinna, each of the last 2 markers for Team Reed coming from 95 in the orange as Gilbert flashes towards the goal. Plays on for Kuykendall. Kuykendall hesitates. Stick check there on the perimeter, and there's a whistle coming. Kuykendall with a couple of points today, but both of those were extraordinary, the goal and the assist.
Detweiler holding the hands a bit too long. Referees are awarding an 8-meter free position from the key. She can wind up and really fire this.
Kuykendall bringing it to the roof.
68 mile per hour shot. She just stepped down into it. And as long as shots are well placed, you don't have to have the fastest shot on the field, but you got to put it as close to the corner as you can. And we saw that was just right underneath of the crossbar. So getting her full body involved.
And Kuykendall is known for having a bunch of tricks up her sleeve on that free position line. So you saw some of those defenders kind of hesitant to almost get in there and get a stick on her shot, which is what they normally do on a free position. But she's known to kind of step in, fake the shot, maybe pass off to the crease, and just be really deceptive about it. So for her to utilize that in order to open up that shot, that's next level.
2 times a first-team All-American at Northwestern, Erin Kuykendall brings us to a brand new ball game at 8 apiece, the first tie since we were 3-3 early in the second quarter. We've played 2.5 minutes of the fourth now. Every possession is important. Draw control for Apuzo. 4 more points for the leaderboard. Top player, Weeks on the go, quickly converting this into offense. Snapshot score! On the fold over, it's Team Apuzo grabbing the advantage. Emily Knowles gets her first as a pro.
A battle at the draw ensued. It wasn't an easy pickup right off the grab, but Sam Apuzo didn't give up on that. Saw Cassidy Weeks, one of our former players at BC. And then Emily Knowles, she has been pushing transition for Team Apuzo from Thursday to today. She's not afraid to go to goal. And this is even with her offhand. That's a defensive player.
I was just going to mention that, Courtney. For all those young players out there who love to play defense, that's exactly right there why you practice your stick work just as much as any other field positional player.
13 seconds, Kylie, after the Kuykendall free position shot. Knowles converts and gives Team Apuzo the advantage, just shy of the 3-minute mark in the fourth. Off and running, Team Reed in the orange with Sammy Jo Tracy. One of 17 different players who played all 4 summers of AU Pro Lacrosse. Sammy Jo delivers here to Kuykendall in her rookie campaign. 2-person game, screening away from Detweiler. Peterson snapped that one high. Towering attacker Isabella Peterson stands close to 6 foot tall. Sammy Jo bluffs behind the back. Shot clock's at 17. Kuykendall pressured on the outside by Detweiler and fouled. Kuykendall on the restart. Peterson off the hitch, and the bouncer goes. Isabella Peterson.
Again, it's not always about being the person who can shoot the ball the fastest. Kuykendall set this up. A lot of attention is on her. She can be a facilitator with that ball, meaning sees the field well, but she gets it to Peterson. She pump faked because essentially that potentially could have been a walling, but pump faked, got the defenders to freeze, and was able to safely shoot around them. And it was the bouncer shot. That's what did it in. It was almost like a changeup.
We're going to see an official review here down on the field to see if that was a 1-pointer or a 2-pointer.
Isabella Peterson accepting congratulations from her mates as we await the official review. A 9-9 game, and we'll share a point of view with you. Hovering around the 8-meter key and dipping a toe in, so this should stand as a 1-point goal.
And anytime a player is close to the line, referees are always going to take a look. That's why it's called an official review. This was not a challenge on the field.
This is a purple challenge.
Team Apuzo facilitator Renee Dowd has asked for the officials to head back to the table again. Here's what the teams this summer can challenge. Ask the officials to review potential 2-pointers, whether or not the ball crossed completely over the goal line. It was out of the head of the cross before the time expires, a dangerous shot, a false start, etc. Official Lynn Bowers is normally the one that relays the information from the scoring table to the spectators and to us here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. All this 3 minutes and 43 seconds into this fourth quarter. Isabella Peterson wearing a microphone. We can hear her reaction just a few moments ago.
Was it a 2?
Yeah. Two. I told you. 2. Look, you're so out. You are so out.
I think I stepped back.
Isabella Peterson, Sammy Joe Tracy taking us into the game. The question is it 2 or is it a 1-point goal? If it's a 1, we're deadlocked at 9. You see the scoreboard reading 10-9 in favor of Reed, as once again facilitator Renee Dowd has asked for the officials to take another peek. We give you one more look at what we think.
After further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's a 1-point goal.
The ruling on the field has been overturned, so it will revert back to a 9-9 score. The foot was recoiling, Courtney. When you looked at it again, definitely Isabella steps in on the delivery, but she's recoiling back out. Maybe it was still in the cross at that time. Have a peek. You'll see the right foot go in here. The release of the shot, the recoil, it's close, but it's overturned. What was a 2 is now worth 1, and we are 9-9 on Bally Sports. And once the officials settle matters, we'll return to the draw circle and catch up with Ali Mastriani and Sam Apuzo. It was a 8-6 advantage for Team Apuzo after 3. Team Reed is in control of the quarter win points in terms of scoring in this fourth alone. Should the score remain tied at the end of regulation, we do play overtime in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, and if there's not a golden goal to settle it, we would go to a shootout. But we're ways away from that with 6:17 to go.
Ooh, you're getting me excited for a potential shootout.
There have been 2 of those, if memory serves, and there have been 6 games that have required overtime overall. Draw possession, coming up running. The defender Knowles, badgered by Lizzie Colson all the way into the offensive end. If you're thinking that Knowles may be new to scoring, I have marks on my boards that say Emily had 7 goals and 6 assists while she was a 4-year starter with the Tar Heels at North Carolina. So no stranger to finding the net. She's done so now as a pro. Griffin yielding to Apuzo. Shot clock's at 24. Sam gets inside, fires, straightening up to make that stop is Reed. Another 4 points for every goalie save on the individual leaderboard tally, and Britt Reed, in fact, no one has more stat points in 4 summers of play than the keeper in orange.
Excellent ride for Team Apuzzo. The double team of Katie O'Donnell, Sam Apuzzo, they weren't giving up on it. Actually, Megan Kinna could have moved that ball to Britt Reed a couple times, elected not to. When you see a teammate and you're in trouble, get it out of your stick as fast as you can.
O'Donnell off the sweep, exchanging with Geyersbach, who favors her left. Geyersbach floated inside. She found the open Weeks, who lost it. Follow-up chance, O'Donnell, stuffed by Reed, high to the offside. 4:40 left in regulation. Kristen Carr snaking her way towards the midline with help from Taylor on the clear. Lauren Gilbert scored a goal in every game last summer. Been a little bit more quiet in this season. Mastriani on the flip, Peterson once more. That was easy pickings for Katie Glynn. Glynn closing in on double figures again in saves.
You know, especially with the game tied, I'd like to see Team Reed take a little bit more time on the offensive end of the field. There's no need to rush things. It's even, right? You got middies out here, 4 of them, who just want a little break.
Folks, if you want to see how these teams get drafted, tune in Monday, 7 Eastern on YouTube. Follow along with Kylie Ohlmiller and Maria Tribalpiece. For more details, follow on social at AU Pro Sports. Geyersbach maneuvering from the wing. Beautiful spin there, and score! Spinderella Geyersbach gives Apuzzo the lead.
As I had just mentioned about Team Reed, Team Apuzzo taking their time offensively, really working the clock to their advantage. They're able to go up by 1 here late in the 4th quarter. Stay with us on AU Pro Lacrosse.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Courtney, in a league full of special talents, Erin Kuykendall's skills are spectacular.
She's a player who can get the ball into the back of the net a variety of ways, but behind the back has been her most favored choice here in AU Pro Lacrosse. Both of her goals have been from behind the back, and it's not because she's being flashy, it's because it's what's available.
Kuykendall said her sister wore number 5, so she wanted to have that one as her jersey number in AU Pro Lacrosse. All of it presented by U.S. Air Force. We're on Bally Sports. We'll continue on many of these same stations later on today, 5:30 Eastern Time. Team Marino and Team McCool will get after it, as there's a timeout taken by Team Apuzzo facilitator Renee Dowd. A 10-9 game with 3:32 to go. The lead goal provided by Sam Geyersbach. Geyersbach, who had a couple on Thursday, has been a steady contributor regardless of which team she plays. She's with Team Apuzzo, her childhood chum, hoping that they can improve their mark this weekend to 2-0. Team Reed at 0-1, hoping to avoid a second consecutive defeat. They were upended by Team Marino back on Thursday, 12-8.
You know, each and every day brings a different challenge. Tomorrow, the final day in the battles between each of the teams, it's a matter of bringing fresh legs out, sticking with the game plan, making sure that your matchups are what you want.
Listening into the huddle there in that timeout for Team Reed, they were hyping each other up, making sure that their attackers will be doubling the ball on Sam Apuzzo here to start, but also locking off to make this as difficult as possible for them to clear.
Kylie, fans are seeing the leaderboard, the colors next to the names associated with the team colors that they're wearing this particular week. These teams, after close of business tomorrow, when the MVP voting is done, all through the appeals process, it'll be top four on the leaderboard as captain. They'll draft again on Monday night at 7 Eastern. There's an offside call against Team Reed here. Kylie and Maria Tribal-Peace will be your hosts for the draft on Monday. A player-up situation for Team Apuzzo. A quick one, 30 seconds.
That's definitely not something that you want if you're a Team Reed fan. You're trying to get the ball back, stop them from scoring, and when you're a player down, it's definitely difficult.
Ahern hovering back behind the goal. Swing it here, up top for Skane. Izzy brings it right back to Weeks, those two rookies. O'Donnell, circle it up. Geyersbach. Hedging there was Colson. She misfires. They go backdoor. Score! Geyersbach.
Excellent ball movement from Team Apuzzo. They weren't in a rush. There was almost a caused turnover behind Team Reed. They went for the interception behind the goal. I like the risk taking, maybe not if you're a player down. Right there, Lizzie Colson almost. But the vision of Madison Ahern yet again. Her eyes are up. She sees that weak side cut and an excellent finish by Geyersbach.
You mentioned it, Courtney. The vision by Madison Ahern today is really on display. And what I like about that one is she didn't necessarily see Sam Geyersbach completely open, but she saw the defenses, the back of their heads, right? So they weren't necessarily paying attention to Sam Geyersbach on that backside, which allowed her to sling the ball across.
For Geyersbach, 2 goals in 52 seconds, giving Team Apuzzo the 2-point cushion. Ahern, in her 5 years with the Irish, 228 career goals, another 69 assists. She's been a top feeder this week in AU Pro Lacrosse with the assists, every one of them earning her 6 points on the individual leaderboard. Sammy Jo Tracy has the ball, Court, and there's some catching up to do now.
We heard the oohs and the ahs when Sam Apuzzo did that swing around Ali Mastriani's head. She didn't make contact, but again, she has to be cautious. She already got a yellow card within the first 8 seconds with that. To be without their captain for the final few minutes of the game, that would be very difficult for them to try and work out.
Sammy Jo Tracy steps in, Off the hitch move, she sent it wide. Backed up by Peterson, 15 seconds to shoot. Isabella Peterson going right to the cage. A bulldozer move there that's flattened Knowles, and possession goes to Team Apuzzo. Weeks finds the open Meg Dowdy with 100 seconds to go in regulation. Team Apuzzo more than likely, quote, takes the air out of the ball now.
We're going to see the defense pressing out. Everybody should be locked on to a player. They need the ball back quickly, and here you go.
On the move, it's Peterson. Gliding inside the 8-meter key. Fumbled it, though. Team Reed has 3 points in the fourth. Team Apuzzo with the 3 as well. Should the fourth quarter carry over, should it be tied, the 20 points, as you can see bottom of the screen, goes to the winning team overall. They would bank those 20 plus the 45 for the win. 50 seconds left.
Fatigue beginning to set in. Everybody needs to step out. Britt Reed taking the closest player in and around the crease. You don't want to leave adjacents open.
Little game of keep away here. "16-second differential from game clock and shot clock." A whistle. It stays Team Apuzzo ball. Shot clock's at 5. Skane, no hurry, good face dodge. Pumps it in! Izzy Skane with the insurance marker.
That goal's just icing on the cake for Team Apuzzo, as they were just working the ball around, using the clock to their advantage. Cassidy Weeks getting it to Skane. There was 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Izzy Skane knew that. Not a lot of defenders around. Looked like Izzy may have gotten hit as she was taking that shot. Nevertheless, extending the lead by 3, just about too difficult for Team Reed at this point to come back. They need a 2-pointer and then another goal, and those are quick from the draw.
You're correct there, Courtney. There was a yellow card on that play there to Team Reed's Lizzie Colson, as Izzy Skane made that split dodge move, or that face dodge move, I should say. Lizzie Colson just swiped towards her and kind of got a little bit of the goggles.
Skane knew it. As soon as she converted, she dabbed a hand up towards her face. Izzy Skane with another hat trick. Last week, she scored 4 goals against Team Apuzzo. Skane, once again wearing purple, as she did so historically well at Northwestern. Team Apuzzo today victorious. Team Apuzzo will carry a 2-0 mark into its battle tomorrow against Team Marino. This one's in the books, 12-9. Fourth quarter win points for Team Apuzzo, and the game points as well, as the leaderboard shows a lot of purple at the top.
A lot of purple. 20 points will be added for that fourth quarter. 45 for the win. That's a total of 65. And then there's still the MVPs that are going to come about. 45, 30, and 15 respectively for those.
The rookie Knowles, second to her captain Sam Apuzzo. Once we finish the games tomorrow, top 4 on the leaderboard will be captains for week 3. We still have one more game to go today on many of these same Bally Sports stations. It'll be game 10 of 24 this season. Marino and McCool soon to be warming up as Team Apuzzo takes a photograph and a bow for a 12-9 win this afternoon. Sam Apuzzo quiet on Thursday, anything but today, as she bags career goal number 100 and 101. Kylie Ohlmiller on the field now with Madison Ahern.
Madison, you had a great day. Your vision was on display. What went into the chemistry here today for Team Apuzzo?
Yeah, I think just trusting each other, and I mean, they're not bad targets to be throwing to, so that definitely helped.
And for you as a feeder, you were really displaying that. You're also a dodger, you're also a finisher. So to be able to put all of those things together as an offensive player, young players that are watching, how important is that?
I think just knowing what kind of day it is for you and maybe knowing your role on that specific day, and today it was feeding.
Love it. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Madison Hearn making it sound easy. Team of Puzo ends the game on a 3-0 run, and they win this one by the final 12-9. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse will continue 5:30 Eastern, Team Marina with Team McCool. For Courtney, for Kylie, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. Team of Puzo, despite Kuykendall's efforts, it's Geyer's back and the team in purple in the winner's circle.